Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Good to see you again. We've got another match playing Black Yellow Luffy at Locals this past week, and this is pretty hilarious. We're up against my man Alan here. He actually shows up to Locals and realizes that he brought the wrong backpack, didn't have any decks to play with, and lucky for me, I got this big, like, deck binder thing on the left side of me on the screen that I always bring, and I had like 5 different decks built, so he ends up winning the dice roll here, but I ended up lending him my Reiju list, and he actually is meeting me in the finals 2-0 right now, going into round 3, so love to see it, and yeah, we're both just going to be playing it out for that winner card, as well as some of the packs per wins and all that good stuff. But he's been having a pretty good run with Reiju. I've been having a pretty good run with Black Yellow Luffy. Really enjoying this list. I think it's just super fun to play, and yeah, I can see myself, you know, playing this a lot when EBO1 comes out. I think that right now, before EBO1, it's okay, but it's definitely it's got some moments to it. We did have a pretty solid starting hand, but we mulliganed because it felt a little greedy. I didn't have a lot of my 2-cost characters, and yeah, we got really lucky drawing into multiple 2-costs here, also having the Sabos. Love to see it. I mean, this is just a fantastic start for us. I'm not going to play down any of the 2-costs here, though. I'm just going to pass it over. We do end up seeing the 8K swing. I'll go ahead and take that. I believe drawing into a Sabo, or was it a Luffy? No, it's a Sabo right there. And I actually decide to swing 7 with lead here. You know, either force out 2 cards or just get him to draw 1. And then I'm just going to go ahead and play Luffy. I'm trying to bait out, like, my opponent playing Niji over the 4-cost to KO Luffy. I don't really care if it dies, because we don't have a Luffy in hand, nor is it the most useful of the 3 brothers in this deck. So it just kind of depends on the situation. But yeah, I decide to try and bait him into Niji, and I think we end up failing pretty hard. He's missed the stage, unfortunately, and decides to slap all 5 Dawn under leader and just go 10. And you know we're taking that 100%. But drawing into a Makino as well as the other Makino here, gotta love the alt-arts. 6 Dawn has always been kind of a weird spot for me with this list. I always kind of, I don't know. I kind of don't know what to do on the 6 Dawn spot a lot of the times, but Sabo always feels kind of like the correct play. I do end up using the Hiyori to either put, and I'm deciding on that, whether I'm going to put Ace or Sabo. I do decide to go with the Sabo route, though, just because I wanted to have and kind of make sure that we go for, you know, some more cards that are useful in trash, but also getting out a really annoying blocker for my opponent to deal with. Having the 2 aces here is nice. I can trash both of those, or I could get rid of one of the Sabos as well. I do decide to go that route, though, just in case I want to play ace the following turn. This does buff my leader up, so being at 7 feels good. I can just go ahead and attack 9. Feel solid about that. Definitely going to get that through. He gets missed double finger down. You know, with the trigger, you do a Dom -1 and then ramp back up, trashing a 7 cost. He just wanted to use it to trash down the 7 cost, and I was double checking. I was like, wait a minute, don't you get the return 1, but you also get to ramp 1, so that's why he just didn't touch the Dawn there. Totally made sense. And, you know, Miss Double Finger is a body onto the board, but not really much of a threat this turn for us because we're at 7k. I would love to draw into an 8-cost Moria this match. Having not seen it just yet isn't like the most terrifying thing, but that card is pretty important. But I keep looking at this Luffy that I played down, and I keep thinking to myself, man, I wish I had played the ace earlier. I was just trying to bait out Niji, and it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Yeah, and excuse me, still a little sick, so the cough, probably will be muted, but, you know, if there's, like, some moments where I go silent, just like the last video, I do end up having just a little bit of a residing cough. He was going to swing 5, but realizes that the leader's at 7, so we might see, like, 2 7k swings here, one with the, rush, and then potentially one with leader, but he ends up finding the stage, which is really useful for him. So just one 7k this turn. If he does want to go that route, I mean, optimally, I feel like my biggest advantage, not only in this game, but in the game yesterday, is that my opponents aren't extremely familiar with how Black Yellow Luffy works just yet. So the objective of the game, obviously, to get your opponent to 0 life and then go for game. A lot of people should be just letting you stay at, you know, whatever life you're at. Like, keep them at 2 or 3 life if you want to deal with Black Yellow Luffy a little bit easier. It forces them to play Hiyori, Makino, also to play maybe like 5-cost Luffy to whittle down their life so that they can get to the point where they can finally use the leader effect. So just kind of starving Black Yellow Luffy to start is very smart. I'm deciding whether I want to take Sabo or one of the baby Sabos or Aces here. I end up going with Ace just because I know that I can get probably like a double rush Ace combo off if I really wanted to, which would be pretty sick. He's definitely just going to pass it back over here. I mean, the 5 at life, yeah, I am a 7, so he just passes it back over. End up drawing into a Garp, but no 8-cost Moria in sight, unfortunately. Not that it's necessarily like a bad thing. Our hand is kind of cracked right now. Like, we're just looking pretty good. Just thinking about how much Dawn I'm going to be using this turn to put back, you know, the Sabo as well as the Ace. And I do decide to go this route. Just deciding whether I want to do Ace first or Sabo first. Obviously, protecting both from effects is great, but it's not extremely relevant into my opponent's deck here. One thing that I feel like I mess up quite a bit playing this deck is I feel like I prioritize going for board on turns where I don't really need to be. And I'm not entirely sure if this is that exact moment that I do that as well, but we'll see. I end up playing out the Sabo and the Ace. I'll just go ahead and use the 2 costs for the Ace, 2 costs for the Sabo, going up to 4k on the lead, and now I get to draw 2, trash 2. I think I forgot to do it for a second, but I realized and was like, oh, perfect. And I draw into 2 2k counters. I mean, our hand is just kind of cracked right now. It's pretty insane. But I'm going to go ahead and trash the Garp as well as the Yamato. Just always nice to have extra 5Ks in the trash, or 5 costs, excuse me, in the trash. And yeah, it looks like I actually did this one correct. I decided to go into life versus going into the Ichiji, but I'm not sure if my second swing will be, oh, and we are going into life. I'm so proud of myself. A lot of the times I've just been swinging endlessly into my opponent's board. And yeah, it doesn't really help me. It doesn't really get me anywhere. But unfortunately, bottom decking a 8-cost Moria here. But we do have Luffy as an option, as well as Ace. I could also pick up the 5-cost Luffy. So solid options all around. I think it's always better to get the 2-cost cards, though, a lot of the times in this stage of the game. But since I don't have any 5 costs in trash, I do decide to just take the Luffy, because I already have one of the 2 costs on board. So I was like, you know what? This could be potentially useful. I might not have to dedicate, you know, 2 Dawn to playing one of the kids if I can just put this Luffy into trash. Yeah, but I considered maybe not attacking with Sabo here, but I decided to do it, get 2 more cards out of my opponent's hand. And unfortunately for my opponent, just drawing into stage really late in the game was pretty rough. I also think that since Reiju can't really go super tall, you know, it's going to be very difficult to get over my 9k leader every single time. I think their best option is like Judge to try and get as tall as possible, but even that doesn't really present them with like a clear option or like a clear path to victory. Yeah, but using the stage right now, take a look at the 3, see if you could pick up something nice. I think he's maybe just looking for counter power, but actually just gets another stage. Maybe just didn't find a good hit that time. This was on me. I was actually wondering if stage could search stage. And I read it again, and it just says search something with Germa in its type. So it 100% can search the stage. I was just curious about how that whole thing worked, because I don't believe I've ever used stage as Reiju to search itself, but that's just me. And now 1 cost, or 1 Dawn rested, playing out the new stage. It's probably, I would imagine at this point, just trying to find counter power or like something to deal with this board. You could arguably do like a 2-cost Reiju, yeah, into like a 4-cost Ichiji, and then maybe get rid of like Sabo or Ace here. That at least like might give my opponent some chance at some like board removal, but doesn't give you a block. A 5 Dawn up, you could arguably play Queen here, but where do you go from there? You know, you're staring down a pretty menacing board. I have quite a lot of options, not only on the board, but in hand, as well as being able to recycle into life. So we're looking really solid here, but 4 Dawn going down for the Ichiji, just going to bring out the 7 cost. And now he can either lower down the Sabo or the Ace. I don't think it's extremely important. Whichever one he does attack into, I'm just going to let go. And then whichever one, maybe he attacks into the second one, I'll more than likely defend. So now with Ace being looked at, we'll see a 5k swing. I can just pretty easily block this with Sabo. Yep. So just a free block there. And now another 5. I can just give him a 1k. Because I want to force the 7 cost to go into it. Because as soon as the 7 cost goes into my Sabo afterwards, I just have the 2k Hiyori lined up for easy defense. And then we can just swing for game. So going into Sabo, I'm just going to say nope. I've got enough attacks. You've only got about 4, maybe 5 cards in hand. I should have enough to get through pretty comfortably here. And I'm just going to go 7 with Sabo. See if that gets through. And if that does the job, then we're looking good. But I think with my opponent only having about... I think he only has about like 4 cards in hand, or maybe 5 at this point. I can just do another 7. We still have all of our Dawn left. Plenty of opportunity to bring back like Ace from trash as well, if we need to. And he does get out of this, and I believe only has 1 card left in hand. So had 5 to start. I am just going to use the leader effect to trash Ace, and I'll go ahead and get both back. And now I've got the Ace play here, and with him only having 1 card in hand, I can just go 7 to life. Yep. And leader's at 9k power right now, which is enough to get through, but we also have another 4 Dawn to tap into it. So we're looking pretty solid. And he's going to be forced to take that last life. And now I can just attach the rest. And bam. Yeah, block with Reiju. Pretty solid match, though. I think it was a little unfortunate. My opponent didn't see the stage until a little later in the game. But, yeah, our mulligan drew into really nice curve for us. So, was really, really happy about that. Never used the Luffy that I played down at the very beginning of the game the entire match. Which, it was a little bit of a bummer, because I wish I had played Ace, but I was just trying to bait out Niji and stop maybe like a 4 cost from being played, but it works out in the end. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and other than that, I'll catch y'all on the next one, alright? Peace.